Hi and Assalamualaikum. This is our phase 2 video presentation for group D. We have chosen vending machine for our project. Firstly, we're gonna talk about the analysis of interface. The user's name is Suhana Afifa. She works as a cashier at a supermarket. One day, Suhana was late for work and she rushed to her workplace. She forgot to bring her water bottle along with her and decided just to buy her drink. But she do not have time to make any stop at shop to buy her drinks. Then she decided to buy her drinks from vending machine. She was very satisfied and she prefers to buy drinks from vending machine because she found vending machine is easier to purchase any drinks, and the important idea was it saved her time to make any purchase even though she was in rush, but she still managed to get her drinks. The task is to buy a mineral water by cash note using the vending machine. The interface usability is dynamic display, which the button flash different colors to show to the user the availability of product in the vending machine. Secondly, the discrete control activation, which the button is designed only for one function. Lastly, the sound feedback. When user press the button to buy drinks, the button will produce a buzzer sound.
The first human error that the users can perform is by selecting the wrong button when performing the task. This human error falls under the commission error. This is because users perform a step that does not lead to their desired drinks or their desired goal. This type of error is considered as a slip because the user execute an incorrect planned action. The user actually planned to press the mineral water but ends up pressing the Pepsi instead. This slips is considered as a skill-based error because a wrong button is selected due to misplaced attention. Under the slips, this error is categorized as a capture slips because there is an occurrence of partial memory lapse that often occur in the experienced user. Because both of the activities are very identical, which is selecting a button to choose their desired drink. So the most frequently performed action is getting done instead of the desired action. For example, if a user often buys mineral water and press the same button every day, and then if one day the friend requested to help her buy coffee, she will end up pressing the mineral water instead. Furthermore, the slips can be categorized as a description similarity slips. This is because the other drinks button are very close to the mineral button, which is the target, and the line of identical looking buttons are closely arranged together. When user is in a state of stress, it will be difficult for them to distinguish the difference between the button drinks, provided that every drink has their own function button. And also in the Neumann interaction diagram stage, this human error occurs at the execution stage. Moving on to the second human error, which is inserting money that is not accepted by the machine. This vending machine only accepts a 1 ringgit and 5 ringgit notes, and it is stated on the machine. But a human error can occur when a 10 ringgit or 50 ringgit note is inserted by the user. This human error is classified as a commission error because the user performs that is incorrect by inserting a cash money that is not accepted by the machine. This error is a mistake type because the user fails to plan properly, where the plan leads to an inappropriate outcome because the user fails to plan to insert a 1 ringgit or a 5 ringgit cash note. This mistake is a rule-based mistake because the user disregard a particular rule which result in a desired outcome. This is also known as a violation because the intentional action resulting unanticipated adverse consequences. The user actually violates the rule by inserting 10 ringgit cash notes when it was clearly stated in the rule that only 1 ringgit and 5 ringgit notes are acceptable. And this error occurs at the planning stage in the Neumann interaction design.
In this part, I will explain about the graph of execution and the graph of evaluation. Firstly, the graph of execution is low because it gives a tactical feeling. Giving the bulging button, yet the button does not have a tactical feeling such that there is pressing down effects upon pressing the button, and the spaces between adjacent buttons are too close to each other, and the probability of pressing the wrong button to the next target is high. And for the graph of evaluation, the cache slots keep flashing blue lights even after paying the right amount of drink creates confusion about the payment status. Next is the buzzer as a feedback will degrade its function as an audio feedback when the user has disabilities in hearing or the environment is too noisy. And lastly, the continuous flashing button before using the vending machine will create a confusion to the user as the user might think the vending machine is out of service.
In this slide, I will explain about the design guideline that could minimize the errors that we stated earlier on, which are wrong selections of the buttons and also inserting money that are not accepted by the vending machines. So first of all is that we can make all possibilities of what users can do at every point and keep user aware of system state for planning next task. So in this scenario, the user is actually in hurry to her workplace because she was late. But when she wanted to buy a drink, in the state of she was in a hurry, this could actually lead to psychological stressor and lead to tunneling, which means that she only focused on one thing if she was facing problems. She was facing problems of not getting the things or the drinks that she wants from the vending machines. So because of this issues or this problem, and also because of this vending machine do not actually provide any steps or instruction on how to use it, because as we all know that different vending machines have different kinds of function system. So with that, even though you are a novice or a skilled person knowing how to use the vending machine, there are still probabilities of that you are not understand on how to use the vending machines. So first of all is that the vending machine should provide step-by-step instructions on how to get started and planning the next actions. And also the displays of instructions should actually display clearly about the system states and present it within the user vision field. The next one is that do not arrange the button too close to each other. As you can see here, the button are very close to the target. So with that, the cross proximities of buttons to non-target will cause erroneous selections, which means that you might accidentally click on the buttons next to the target. Even so, you see, look at this picture. The fingers could actually just reach to the button next to the target. So with that, the system should actually provide enough white space between buttons, or you can just directly click on. If it is a touch screen, then you can just directly click on the pictures of the drinks displayed. So the next one is provide a clear way to undo and reverse actions. So if you have this capture slips, which means that user accidentally press on the buttons other than the intended buttons, this could actually lead to a wastage of money because you have to restart the process of buying the drinks that you want. Because if you do not have the undo buttons, then you have to restart and reinsert a new money to buy your drink. So the machine should actually have the undo button so that you can have going back to the previous steps to select your drinks that you want instead of getting or dispense out that the drinks that you accidentally click on. And the next one is also request confirmations of kind of intervene feedback. So here, as I mentioned before, that the undo button is also important, and so does the confirmation request, because if you made a mistake or last minute changes and you want to change your mind of clicking or buying the drinks, so you have the undo buttons. And if you want to confirm that you wanted to buy the drinks, then therefore the confirmations button is also important, because the system should actually ask you your confirmations or order before dispensing the order drink, so that you don't have to redo the process of buying your drinks. And next one is present cognitive affordance in time to help the users before the associated actions. So as you can see here, from the very start of using or seeing the vending machine, this cash lot actually keep lighting up this blue light, even though after you finish insert your like insert the correct amount of money, it still blinks or it still lighted these blue lights. And also before you using this vending machines, it actually have this light up buttons, like it will move from here left to right using different colors. I think maybe because of this system would like to attract people's attentions of going to the vending machine, but some people do not have this mindsets of or this ideas of what does this continuous lighted uh, lighted button means, because it will, and thus this will create confusion on which action need to be taken. So what does this vending machine can do is that the vending machines can only need to present the feedback or presentation at exact time, meaning to say that if it is the time for you to insert the cash, then the light of this cash slot should actually just blink at that particular hours, and so does this buttons. And also support user with effective physical affordance in manipulating objects and accommodate physical abilities. So here, as you click on these buttons, it actually have the buzzer feedback. But if the environment is too noisy, or the users having this hearing disabilities, this actually is the drawback of the audio feedback, because they might not hear the feedback from the buzzer. So therefore it should include a tactile effect when you're pressing these buttons, because when this vending machine do not have actually having the tactile effect, if you press it, you do not have this button pressing down effect, but only have this buzzer effect. So to have this effective information perception, the vending machine should include a tactile effect too, which is the pressing down effect. And also last one is to help users with system model metaphors and work context. In this thing, these cash slots did not provide clear instructions on what money value should insert in the slot. So here it actually saying that only 1 and 5 ringgit are accepted, but they do not actually mention about does 10 ringgit accepted, or 1 ringgit, 1 ringgit, 1 ringgit 5 times accepted, because it's not really stated clearly here. But instead, the vending machine should actually showing the picture of notes that are accepted or rejected by the machines. And also is that this vending machine do not actually provide a very clear instructions on how to use the vending machines, because as I stated earlier on, that different machines have different work functions. So here it only stated on how to put the money, but they do not state how to use overall of the vending machines.